EGM Network.
This is Martha Matters. From real estate, healthcare, current events, taxes, or just about any topic, we're talking about it. Call us with any questions on just about any subject. Now, here she is, Martha!
Well, hi there, and welcome. We have some interesting conditions that went on this past weekend. We all know about the Los Angeles riots. What bothers me is not freedom of expression. What bothers me is violence from the very first hour. And even the media is not addressing this. The media and the Democratic Party say there was organized, very organized, peaceful protest. There is nothing peaceful when the Los Angeles police were hardly in appearance. In fact, they were very scarce, and people were burning cars and busting windows, especially of the police station, but store windows also. There is absolutely nothing peaceful about that, and I wish the media and the Democratic Party right now would stop lying. They're making a hole much deeper. They're digging themselves more than 6 feet under by constantly lying. And that has me very, very upset. The moderate Democrats maybe do want to work with the Republicans, and the majority of Republicans want to work with the moderate Democrats, but you would not know it. That is when this country was fabulous, when they gave and take on different issues, but they both compromised and passed a lot of bills for the welfare of the people and the entire middle class. I'm not talking about the last 4 years when the bills they were passing was for hormone transplants of people in jail and illegal immigrants. That is ridiculous. I'm talking about handling inflation and making the people feel comfortable and optimistic and willing to work 1, even 2 jobs to get ahead, rather than feeling whatever they do, they're falling behind and they're losing to inflation. Now, getting back to what's going on, I repeat, in the very beginning of this last Friday, the first thing the demonstrators and protesters were doing is burning cars, burning the American flag, and busting windows. There is nothing peaceful about that, and only after that happened did Trump go sending the National Guard, Marines, and other law enforcement agents to the Los Angeles scene. I'm glad he did it when he did it. If anything, it was Johnny come late a little bit, but I'm not critical of that. He did the right thing in sending in federal forces. And Gary Newsom and others, I am tired of them lying through their teeth that there's now all this disruption and blocking of roads and fires because Trump sent troops in. That is the biggest lie there is. And Gary Newsom wants to run for president. If I have any criticism, and I know the people are just fighting to be reelected, that's why the Democratic Party of moderates is totally silent and you wouldn't even know they existed. And my biggest disappointment was this morning and last night. I thought Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, was a sensible, moderate force to bring the two parties together. I am very, very disappointed and mistaken about that thought.
Yeah.
He refused to acknowledge that the violence started long before Trump, by 24 hours, long before Trump released federal forces to go in. But number one. Number two, he did say we should have a check and balance system, which I agree with, and which we should get back. But he's certainly not encouraging it by saying Trump should pull some of his forces out. That is ridiculous. They asked for it. And there was one thing to this day I don't understand. The majority of people in Los Angeles occupying the streets and burning the flag and cars are Mexicans. They're flying Mexican flags all over the place. Well, I have no problem with that. If you're Mexican and you hate what's going on in the United States, please leave. What are you proving? Go back to Mexico if that's your love. Nobody's stopping you. I don't understand why you're flying the Mexican flag. You want Mexico to take over California? I don't think so. I don't understand what you people are doing. Flying the Mexican flag is meaningless, totally meaningless. And if anything, it's embarrassing Mexico and the new head of Mexico trying to clean up some of these cartels. I don't think all of you people who are demonstrating are thinking. You may be offered free money to demonstrate by certain parties. I don't know. But you're not getting any point across with violence. The big difference is whether it's communist Russia, whether it's socialistic countries like Cuba, like Venezuela. There is violence all the time. In a democracy, there is not violence all the time. And when there is, once in a while, like now, we're all very upset about it. The difference is with a democracy and the Democrats and Republicans working together to compromise on bills that mean a lot to both parties. In plain English, that is when we're successful and that's when we're accountable. Demonstrations and destruction, other than just chanting signs across the street, is not acceptable. Destroying anything is socialistic, communistic, and what really bothers me, a few weeks ago, the fires of Tesla cars, AOC came out and said, I understand them doing that. There's nothing wrong with them destroying cars. There is something wrong with destroying other people's property. And AOC is totally wrong. And I really wish the rest of the Democrats, many of whom are very good friends of mine, I really wish the time has come for them to get outspoken about no more violence. Violence is destructive, it's socialistic, it's communistic. Every single day, Venezuela is having killing and destruction. And you want this to happen in our country every single day forever? That is not democracy. And you people do not realize what you're getting around to allowing.
Yeah. And a lot of people say that that's why they left their country. Now, I'm not saying those are the same ones that are doing the demonstrations. I mean, you can't make a generalization statement like that. But one story, you bring up a good point, Martha, about people that are being paid to demonstrate by different underlying factions or whatever, that they're really not in the mix to be in the mix. There was a story, and I didn't follow it totally through, but in P. Diddy's Puff Daddy.
Oh, T. Diddy, yes.
Yes, that people were being paid $20 an hour. Now, is that true? I saw a couple of stories on mainstream media that said that. So is the availability to that happen? Absolutely, that you can pay people to demonstrate. We wondered about that with the Black Lives Matter movement, too. So is this another thing like that? Because it doesn't make any sense. If you're illegal, why are you raising the Mexican flag and demonstrating? I mean, if you're illegal, you're just putting the pointer right at you saying, well, here I am. So it doesn't make sense. Some of this does not make sense.
Right. And from 4 years ago with Black Lives Matter, the reason they're not demonstrating now is their funding was dropped.
No, I mean that the instance of the Black Lives Matter being paid to do that whole agenda is what I'm saying. So, I mean, it's the possibility is there.
Absolutely.
And we all know that the possibility is there, that you can pay somebody to demonstrate. And for $20 an hour, people will do it.
I have nothing against demonstrations if people have a different idea, but I do draw the line on no destruction should take place. Not 1 ounce of destruction should take place of other people's property. You don't have a right to do that. It is not peaceful. And people that have businesses and stores with broken windows, even I had on one of my properties, we had a broken window. People thought they could get in and rob something. And when they went inside, there was nothing. It was absolutely empty. So they still are destructive by breaking glass. And that is not right. It's not right for other people to pay for their own mistakes and lack of respect of other people's property and other people's businesses.
Well, we've talked about that too, Martha, with the Tesla cars. That goes back on all of us. If you're going to put that as a business owner on your insurance claim, which, I mean, that's why you have insurance, that goes back to all of us.
Yes.
It does. Every one of us. Even if you live in, Montana, you live in Oklahoma, whatever, all these companies are nationwide. It's going to go back on everybody.
And every insurance claim made isn't just for that one broken window or burned car.
Yeah.
The entire neighborhood's insurance of all the innocent tax-paying people, that all goes up.
It does, yeah.
And it hurts every one of us, whether it's national inflation-wide, and also for those people who actively pay taxes and have to pay insurance that has doubled and tripled over the last 4 years. That is hurting every single American citizen.
Right. Another conversation, Martha, that you and I had before we went on the air, I've spent a lot of time in California in the last couple of years with friends and whatever. And every time I went out there, and this is before President Trump was elected, there was a conversation that was going on all along about what was going to happen with the illegals who are in presently and in strong force in their workforce out there.
Oh, in California.
Right, in California. So they know that the illegals, they being people that are employing illegals, know that they're illegals. So why was this not shut down before?
That's another good question.
I mean, that's what the people are saying. I mean, can I point at this one, that one? No, I don't know all the particulars, but that was an underlying thread through a lot of the trips that I made out there. What's really going to happen? Are our businesses going to be, shut down because now we don't have these workers? Well, they're illegal.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's all laws.
What I find interesting about that is that Chris Noem, our security administrator, she said, we just go after the criminal element, but alongside of them are another half dozen or so of illegal immigrants who haven't done anything. So we export them too. They made themselves available.
Well, at the end of the day, it's against the law to be here illegally. That's what the word illegal means. I mean, I made a joke with you before that we went on air about the New Yorker, one of the current cartoons that has something to the effect of, okay, well, the laws were kind of, we're not really looking at those laws now. They don't really mean anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
every law does apply, especially law and order.
Yeah.
And the reason we have law and order is because the majority of tax-paying citizens, working poor, middle class, even upper middle class, and wealthy, we are all accountable.
Yeah.
The word accountable applies to every single person, and then we have a true democracy. And I grew up most of those years, that was the case. And except the first time there wasn't a case was the Vietnam conflict going on and on. Most people were very, very accountable. We had the tent cities.
Right,
but we weren't shooting people and burning cars right and left. And that's going on today. Too many people can take the law into their own hands, which is not a democracy. And if you want socialism and communism, be my guest. Go to Venezuela, go to Cuba, go to Russia, see how wonderful it is in those areas. I've been there. Well, we've got to take a break, but we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes, so stay with us. I want to introduce you to our main sponsor, Highland Plaza, located on US 1 on the east side of the Highland Drive traffic light. We even have our own left-hand turn lane. One of the places in there, the first one on the north side, is Easy Stop, and you will be surprised what competitive and beautiful prices they have. You should give it a shot. Also, Tony's Hairstyling Salon is ideal for the entire family at all ages. He and his wife have run a salon there for years with a huge following. Also, we want to tell you about La Taberna Restaurant. It has the freshest Mexican food in town and a well-experienced chef. You will be most surprised not only by the food, but the reasonable prices. Also, I want to tell you about the nail salon. It's Luxury Nails. Let me tell you, they do everything, both for walk-in clients and appointments. Appointments are really appreciated, but they treat all clients professionally. Now, I want to repeat to you, this is located on US 1, just east of Highland Drive at the traffic light. It's a beautiful yellow building with a maroon awning. We look forward to seeing you there. Come on over.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Sofas, love seats, dining sets, bedroom groups in the latest styles and colors from Four Seasons, Braxton Color, Riverside, Hooker, Capri, Tommy Bahama, and more. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have anything you need for your outdoor living from Lloyd Flanders, Kingsley Bate, Brown Jordan, and Woodard, including a gallery of maintenance-free furniture from Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. Right now, during our summer savings event, we have lots of great half-price specials, including 50% off on all in-stock Universal Coastal Living collections. And all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half-price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store directly across the street that is filled with name brand closeouts. And visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Hit the zone this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30 and 8:30 for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of non-stop laughs.
Hi there. Welcome back. I just want to re-emphasize, and I mean re-emphasize, the importance of accountability. And none of us are absolutely saying with certainty, but with all the demonstrations and violence that we've had in the last 5 to 7 years, every single one of them, eventually, when researched, is funded by somebody who wants to destroy the United States as a democracy the way we've been the last 250 plus years. And that has got to stop. And I really, really have got to say, and we asked this question, and Cindy asked it too, over in California, why are all these illegals being hired because it's so much cheaper than regular American citizens? What is the reason they are taking in illegals and then turning around and allowing those same people to destroy property and be absolutely irresponsible? They don't know what the word accountability is and what it means. Why are you hiring them? And absolutely no one has given us an answer. That's question number one. And question number two, let's get back to working hard, improving ourselves financially, but more important, before that even comes to fruition, we've got to all be accountable and respect one another. If you remember nothing else, remember the word accountable. Now, I just have a little time left. I want to give a major announcement. We now have a rental unit of 2,000 square feet under air for unfurnished for rental on a yearly basis. If you know anyone, please give me a call at area code 772-231-5773. That's a new phone number for this, for rentals.
Repeat it real quick, Martha.
Okay, 772-231-5773. And on that note, give me a call, and I'll help you out to the best of my ability. So have a great week. Goodbye.